Hey guys, welcome to the channel if you're new. Welcome back if you're a subscriber. Special thanks to all of my patrons. My name's Neil and it's time for the next episode of Lost. We had a great episode 3 where we learned that it seems Saeed is claimed by what we can assume is the smoke monster. We've learned that Claire is alive, but perhaps also claimed and living on the island for the last 3 years. And we've also got this fascinating new 2004 storyline based on what if maybe the incident never happened, or but basically that 815 never crashed. And what does that entail? It entails things like Dr. Ethan Goodspeed working in LA. It entails Desmond being on the flight for some reason that hasn't yet been made clear. It entails Shannon apparently being left in LA, left in Australia. Little differences that I'm fascinated to learn what that whole timeline is about. But what it appears to be serving as for this season is that new 2004 timeline is sort of serving the place of what used to be all our flashbacks. So now we flash to this alternate timeline where we see where everybody's life may have led them. So it almost feels like a hypothetical timeline, and it somehow feels less real just because we've spent so much time on the island timeline, and the fact that we're still progressing with that post incident makes us feel, I don't know, the island feels more real to me than the real world, if that makes any sense. Even though there's so much less that I properly understand about it. And, the show's been promising and doling the answers out throughout the 5 years. So I trusted enough that I'm going to get enough answers in this final season that I'm going to walk away at the end happy and satisfied. I guess at this point I have become a man of faith in the show that it will provide. Interestingly, Jack's sort of been going through this evolution too of, is he a man of science or is he a man of faith? And early on he was certainly the man of science, especially in all his conflicts with Locke. But in last season, when he was just Jack Workman, he sort of found this sort of Zen place of acceptance and just trust that he was on the island for a reason, which revealed itself to him in taking the bomb to the Swan and preventing the incident, or causing the incident, or both. And but now that he's back in 2007, he's back to kind of being the one in charge. He's captured by the others. The man of science is back, and he's not trusting these new captors / protectors. He doesn't even trust himself. He says that in his own words, and yet he takes this poison pill instead of trusting these new characters. Prevents Saeed from dying, and yet maybe Saeed is too far gone. Is there a way to drive the smoke monster out of Saeed? I don't know whether the smoke monster is actually, quote, in Saeed, but Saeed certainly, if we're to trust everybody, claimed by the smoke monster, by this evil presence that doesn't yet have a name, and it would be so much easier if it did. Because I feel like calling it the smoke monster at this point doesn't quite make sense. But anyway, let's jump into it, guys. I'm ready for a new episode. This is episode 4 of season 6, and it's called The Substitute. Let's see what that's all about.
Previously on Lost. I am very disappointed in all of you.
Locke, not Locke is fascinating. This is going to be a Locke episode. I love it. Ooh, they had all sorts of background for that shot. It's a busy neighborhood. But he's got Jack's card now, so is he gonna... Oh,
come on.
Life sucks for John Locke. This isn't gonna go well. Good thing it's a busy outdoor neighborhood. Oh, life sucks. Life sucks, life sucks, life sucks.
John?
He's with Helen? What?
Are you
What?
okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
This is alternate in so many ways. So, what?
The wedding is in October. Look, I'm just gonna have to call you back.
They're getting married.
What do you say we just get my parents and your dad and do it shotgun style in Vegas?
No, you...
He's still got a relationship with his dad? What is up with this universe?
This one.
That one?
I meant this one.
So, how was the conference?
Conference. He lied to her.
Boring.
He lied to her about Walkabout.
Who's Dr. Jack Shepard?
Nice guy. He offered me a free consult.
You should call him. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's destiny.
Destiny.
It is.
Man doesn't believe in destiny yet because he hasn't been cured miraculously. But this is not the same world he left. Oh, Smoke Monster POV. Therefore, John Locke POV. Oh, are Sawyer and Kate still here? Sawyer? Who's in there? Oh, this is disorienting, but super curious. Oh, okay. Is Locke just the straight villain? Like, it's not John Locke, but you know what I mean. Is he just like playing the villain this season?
All right, Richard. Time to talk.
Did he put Richard in there just like to temporarily incapacitate him? Okay, we're back to the box factory. Colonel.
Welcome back, Colonel. Did you miss us?
Sure I did, Randy.
So? How was the conference, John?
I was okay.
The seminar people called and said you hadn't picked up your credentials. I did some checking. And it seems that you didn't attend a single event. Where the hell were you?
Look, Randy, I'm really sorry.
Hey, you're fired.
Because Randy knew about the walkabout in the original version. It's definitely like an alternate world here.
Why do you look like John Locke?
I knew he'd get me access to Jacob. Because John's a candidate. Or at least he was a candidate.
A candidate. We've heard that before. I'm trying to remember when.
You mean you've been doing everything he told you all this time and he never said why? Come with me. And I promise I'll tell you everything.
I'm not going anywhere with you.
All right.
Oh, that's new. Who is that? Is that young Jacob? My theory is Richard came in on the Black Rock, but I don't know.
Tell me what happened to them.
All right. There's a fairly reasonable chance that you won't believe me. John Locke killed them. He turned into a pillar of black smoke. And he killed them right before my eyes.
Did it kill Jacob as well?
No, that was me.
Yes?
Ben can't help himself for lying. Ash.
Locke, do you know why he carried Richard out into the jungle?
We know the ash acts as a barrier to the smoke monster.
He's recruiting.
I feel like calling him Locke at this point is wrong. Presumably, he's going to try and recruit Sawyer then. Because I'm assuming that's Sawyer in there.
Hello, James.
Is that Iggy Pop? I recognize... I don't recognize the album. But I'm trying to think who this could be in the 70s. It feels Iggy Poppy. I love that Dharma basically has become like the Kirkland signature of all these products. Man, Sawyer is a mess.
Here's to being dead. Who are you? You sure as hell ain't John Locke. Locke was scared. Even when he was pretending he wasn't. But you...
Sawyer's got insight.
What if I told you I was the person who could answer the most important question in the world?
And what question is that?
Why are you on this island?
Well, I guess I better put some pants on.
Sawyer was easily persuaded. Is that Hurley's Hummer? It's Hurley's Hummer.
Okay. Okay.
That's not gonna work.
Come on.
Hurley's the luckiest man in the world. Of course that's not gonna work. Yeah.
Dude. You ever park a car in your life? You're practically in my spot.
I'm really sorry. They were supposed to reserve a spot for me, so...
I haven't seen you before. You work here?
I own the place.
Actually, I own the company. Hugo Reyes.
John Locke.
I just got fired.
Who's your boss?
His name is Randy.
My old boss.
Randy Nations?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that guy is a huge douche. Tell you what, John. I own a temp agency, too.
Of course.
And chin up. Things are gonna work out.
Oh, this is so messed up. Because I'm more and more convinced that this 2004 just isn't real at all. So now she's got a bag of Jacob Ash.
They said they were going to the temple. Are you all right?
All my friends are dead.
I'm fine.
Nope, you're not.
What do you know about my husband?
I know that if he's on the island, then he'll be at the temple.
Nope. Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not.
What about John?
John's dead.
We need to bury him.
Okay, that's real.
Who the hell's that?
That is definitely young Jacob.
You can see him?
The kid? Hell yeah, I can see him.
Hey!
But he's not bloody this time. Why was he bloody when he saw him with Richard? If there's ever a running race, a running chase on the island.
You know the rules.
The rules?
You can't kill him.
Don't tell me
what I
can't do. Don't tell me what I can't do!
Oh!
Where is he? What the hell are you doing here?
That man is not John Locke.
I know.
Then why are you with him?
Because he's got answers.
He's not going to tell you anything. He's going to kill you. He doesn't just want you dead. He wants everyone dead. Everyone you care about. All of them. And he won't stop.
You ever catch up with a kid?
What kid?
What?
Right.
What? That's a weird thing to say, what kid? They both saw
What
him.
kind of animal would you describe yourself as?
That's from the Dharma job application. From the special... from the Season 5 bonus content.
Just say whatever comes to mind.
May I speak to your supervisor?
Of course.
Who's it gonna... Is it gonna be somebody we know?
Good morning, Mr. Locke.
Yeah.
I'm Rose Nadler, an office supervisor.
Did we know Rose worked in a temp agency?
Well, I see here that you have a listing for a site coordinator.
Construction site coordinator. I'm not sure that's a good match. Let's try to be a little more realistic.
And what do you know about realistic?
I have cancer. Terminal cancer. Eventually, I got past the denial part. And I got back to living whatever life I've got left. How about we find you a job you can do?
Did we know Rose worked for a Hurley company? I feel like that's new info, but I love it.
Mice and Men. You know that one?
Nope. A little after my time.
After his time.
What's on your mind, James?
Wondering what would happen to you if I put a bullet in your head.
Nothing.
Why don't we find out?
What are you?
Trapped. And I've been trapped for so long that I don't even remember what it feels like to be free.
So is this island just a prison for the smoke monster?
If you want to shoot me, shoot me. But you're so close, James.
Ah.
And what's to stop what they're up against from changing his face?
You can't. Not anymore.
Oh. Why?
He's stuck this way.
Why? Why? Man, look at all the dead. Did Rose and Bernard bury all the, Oh, that's a fence. Sorry, I thought those were all crosses, but I thought maybe Rose and Bernard had buried all the people killed with flaming arrows. Why is he trapped as Locke now? Come on.
Didn't any of you know him?
All right, I know him.
This'll be interesting.
John Locke was
Such a purposely underwhelming service.
a believer. He was a man of faith. He was a much better man than I will ever be. And I'm very sorry I murdered him.
This is the weirdest damn funeral I've ever been to.
I'm with you, Frank. I'm with you. Call Jack, man. Yeah. Come on! Come on.
No, you can't.
No, you can't help me.
Who's that on the phone?
I was calling Dr. Shepard.
But
When are you going to see him?
I'm not going to see him.
he's coming to terms with...
Delivering your lost luggage?
Oh, it's his knives. So he didn't even tell her that he was going on walkabout.
Okay, thanks.
But it sounds like he was gone for a week. Like, he did end up going, almost.
Okay,
Which
John.
doesn't fit the original timeline at all.
Now talk to me.
I didn't go to the conference in Sydney.
Yeah.
What are these for?
My walkabout, but they wouldn't let me go.
Okay.
And I sat there yelling at them, shouting at them that they couldn't tell me what I can't do. But they were right. So if you need me to get out of this chair, I don't blame you. But I don't want you to spend your life waiting for a miracle, Helen, because
miracles don't happen.
There is no such thing.
Wow.
There are miracles, John. And the only thing I was ever waiting for was you.
This is great, but I have questions about how they met now. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Nice view. Now what?
It's a hell of a ladder. It's one hell of a ladder. I'd wait for you to get to the bottom. What's up with the second ladder? This is... just... Whoa. Okay, oh, you just transfer from one to the other. Ah! That's... Jesus. So, presumably they're heading to that little cave? Is this his home? What is it?
What is this place?
There's light and there's dark, and they're in perfect balance. Well, but there goes light. Jacob's dead.
Hell's that all about?
Inside joke.
Now they go into the tunnels.
That, James, is why you're all here.
Oh. Gerard's 16, 15 is Sawyer. Oh, there's going to be some 8 is Reyes. So the numbers are the people?
Come on, all the way. You can catch him. You can catch him. Come on, dig it
This
out.
is the new job. He's a volleyball coach?
Good job.
Or he's slash teacher?
Please open your textbooks to chapter 4, the human reproductive system.
Okay. He's a biology teacher and gym teacher.
Can you tell me where the teacher's lounge is?
Substitute teacher.
All right, I know I sound like a broken record, but how many times do we have to go over this? If you have the last cup of coffee, you remove the filter.
What the hell?
Ben Linus, European history.
John Locke, substitute.
Well, welcome.
The substitute. And a teacher? What? What? I was expecting art. Oh, so Quan. Okay, so Sun is 42.
Who wrote all this?
The 6 survivors are 6 number. The Oceanic 6 are the 6 number.
Jacob?
He died yesterday.
You don't seem too upset about it.
4 and 23 are going to be Shepard and Austin.
Why are all the names crossed
one way or another? Because they're
They're
dead.
not all crossed out.
23 is Shepard. 23. And 4 is Austin then.
Reyes. That's Hugo, right? What's the 8 about?
Jacob had a thing for numbers. 16, Gerard.
Yeah.
42, Quan. I don't know if it's Sun or if it's Jin.
Oh, Locke is...
Locke.
Oh.
I think we both
Okay,
know
so it's
him.
not quite the Oceanic 6, but it's everyone... It's everyone Jacob finished.
Number 15, Ford.
So where's Austin? Austin doesn't get a... Kate doesn't get a number.
Why would he write my name on this wall? I never even met the guy.
Oh, no, I'm sure you did meet Jacob.
Is Kate 31?
At some point in your life, James, probably when you were young, he manipulated you, pulled your strings like you were a puppet. He thought he was the protector of this place. And you, James, have been nominated to take over that job.
What does that mean?
It means you've got 3 choices. First, you can
Why
do
does Kate have a number?
And
but these are what the candidates are.
see how all this plays out.
To become the new protector.
And possibly your name will get crossed out.
Yeah, because Locke is...
Second option. You can accept the job, become the new Jacob, and protect the island. That's the joke. There's nothing to protect it from. It's just a damned island. The third choice, James, is that we just go. We just get the hell off this island.
There's some truth to this, but there's a lot of manipulation going on right here, too. I'm sure of it.
So what do you say, James? Are you ready to go home?
They are candidates to protect the island, but there's something very real that needs to be protected, and it's the Earth from this guy.
Hell yes.
That's impersonating Locke. Uh-oh. Jeez. Okay, guys. Ton of new lore, obviously. With Jacob's little lookout cave thing, you know, the symbolism of the white and the dark stones on the scale, and Jacob's gone, so now things are unbalanced. I wish I knew what to call Locke right now, because it's not John Locke, obviously. I get that, but to minimize confusion, I'm going to just refer to him as Locke. And yet we just buried Locke in this episode, and we got all this great alternate history. Oh man, so much to talk about. I don't know where to start. Locke and Helen are together. But here's what I don't get. Helen said, we'll just invite my parents and your dad and we'll go to Hawaii, which makes me assume that John and his dad have a good relationship. And yet, John's in a wheelchair because his dad pushed him out a window. John met Helen after the whole stealing your kidney fiasco. So how did John meet Helen? How did John end up in a wheelchair if John's got a good relationship with his father? See, in our original timeline, John wasn't planning on being on Flight 815. He was going to be much longer. But the travel company sent him back to Sydney, got him an earlier flight, therefore he's home. And yet, Helen, he came home at the right time as far as Helen's concerned. He was gone a week for this conference, so he lied to Helen about that, obviously. But same with Randy. Randy thought so he was gone a week, even though he didn't go on the walkabout. And also in the original timeline, Randy knew he was going on a walkabout. Randy was making fun of him for going on the walkabout. And instead, in this timeline, Locke lied to him about it, pretending to go to the conference. So this isn't just a what if the plane didn't crash scenario. This is an alternate something, and it feels like wish fulfillment. This was the episode where John came to terms with his disability and accepted it, but and that's dramatized by deciding not to speak to Jack and just sort of not believing in miracles and just sort of saying, this is who I am. He had that great conversation with Rose about let's be realistic. He basically takes this statement here, don't tell me what I can't do, and puts that aside. It's like, okay, he's willing to accept people telling him what he can't do and deal with that. So that's incredible growth for Locke, but it's not Locke. That's not the John Locke that we've spent 5+ seasons getting to know. The more I see of this alternate 2004 timeline, the less I feel like it's real. It feels like just wish fulfillment or something less tenuous than reality. It just feels off in so many ways. The island is what's real. So John Locke on the island is recruiting Sawyer and showing us another one of Jacob's places with all these names. And everybody's attached to a number. And it's our 6 numbers, the numbers that we've been teasing since season 1. 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. And they are assigned to... Locke is number 4. Hugo Hurley is number 8. Sawyer was 15. Gerard was 16. Shepard was 23. And Quan was 42. So Sun and Jin probably... I would lean towards Sun, but maybe it is Sun and Jin. But I would lean towards Sun because it was the Oceanic 6. Except... obviously, Locke wasn't one of the Oceanic 6, and Kate was, and Sawyer wasn't one of the Oceanic 6, so it's not quite our Oceanic 6, but it feels like everyone that had an interaction with Jacob in their past got a number. So what's Kate's number? If it's 31, guys, I'm freaking the frick out. But maybe it's 108. That's the only sort of other number that's sort of a confirmed part of the lore. Or maybe it's 316, or maybe it's 815. I don't know. But what's Kate's number? I need to know. That's a missing clue that's bothering me right now. Anyway, I think the three options that Locke presented to Sawyer are on the surface correct. Option one, I forget option one now. Was it you can die? The option two, these are candidates. So this is new lore. I think we teased the word candidate before, but why can't we kill them? Because he's a candidate. One of the others said that. Maybe it was it Draw? Or no, was it No, it was the note that Hurley had in the guitar case inside the giant Ankh. Wasn't it a list, Jacob's list of candidates? Is that the list that we've been talking about over and over again? He's not on Jacob's list, except Shepard is on Jacob's list. This makes... Because wasn't one of the first times we heard Jacob, wasn't it Tom saying Jack's not even on Jacob's list? Maybe. This is a brain scratcher, guys. But Jacob had a bunch of candidates. Many who were scratched out, but some who were still alive. And those I believe that Locke isn't lying when he says that the candidates are for them becoming the protector of the island. But the second part of option two was Locke saying it's all a joke. There's nothing to protect. It's just an island. And that, I think, is an out-and-out lie. I think you have to protect... Maybe it's not protecting the island, but it's protecting the world from what's on the island, namely the smoke monster, namely John Locke. Because option three is we just go, we get out of here, we leave the island. But the Locke needs to go with somebody. He can't leave by himself. But if he occupies Sawyer the way he's occupied Christian or Yemi or Claire. No, Claire's different. Claire's not dead. Claire is claimed. But maybe Locke can get off the island in a claimed body or in a possessed Christian type body. Maybe. Maybe not. Man, it's not. I know it's not exciting seeing me try and puzzle this out live. Maybe I'll have some more thoughts in my preamble to 5, guys. But yeah, the more I see of this alternate 2004 reality, the less it feels like reality. Especially in this episode, Locke and Helen still together. That's messed up. Benjamin Linus teaching European history. Now that we've seen multiple others in LA, we've seen Ben, we've seen Ethan in this alternate 2004, it feels like the incident didn't just change what happened to the Dharma Initiative post-77. It almost feels like it changed everything prior to that. Like, was there ever a... Here's the question. In our new 2004, did the Dharma Initiative even exist? Did Ben ever go to the island in the first place? Was Ethan born on the island, or did Horace and I forget Horace's wife's name, but did they have Ethan outside Portland instead, and then move to LA or something? Man, it's just so confusing. It's meant to be confusing, of course. But I'm also driven to figure it out. And maybe I just don't have enough info. I wish we would give this guy I wish we would give Locke a name. We buried John Locke in this episode, and it feels like one of the most minor things that happened in this episode. And, you know, it's interesting. This is the second time there's been a funeral for John Locke. The first one was at the Flash Forward funeral home. And no one came to that one, so at least 4 people were at this one. Weird that Ben gave his eulogy, and what a weird eulogy. He's a better man than I'll ever be. I'm sorry I murdered him. I mean, is Ben finally getting redeemed to some degree? And yet Ben cannot stop from lying. You know, he lied to Alana. Like, what happened to Jacob? And Ben says that Locke killed him, not I did it. And yes, Locke used Ben as his weapon, but Ben needs to take ownership of what he's done. Sawyer has a ton of insight. Sawyer realized almost right away that Locke wasn't Locke. Why? Because John Locke was always scared, even when he was hiding it. And this version of Locke, not scared. Benjamin Linus is always scared too, even though he's almost never showing it. He wishes he was special. He wishes he was important. He's incredibly smart and manipulative, and he's very good at making himself valuable and putting himself in positions of control. But he's afraid that I think at some level he's afraid, like he's an imposter. And he's afraid that he's going to get found out at any time. You know, like, remember the look of panic on his face the first time John Locke demanded to see Jacob? And Ben was petrified of being found out, that he'd never actually seen Jacob himself. Like, he was petrified of being found out, of being discovered as a fraud. And just one more way, in a lot of ways, that Ben and John are very similar. This new 2004, I don't think it's real. It just feels too different. It doesn't just. It's not just a what if situation. You know, what if the plane never crashed? It's much more than that, and it's much different. You know, maybe in this world, Kate really is innocent. Maybe she really didn't kill somebody. You know, the conversation she had with Claire at the end of 3, it seemed an odd place to lie to Claire about, you know, do you believe me that I'm innocent? But she offered that up, and it didn't necessarily feel completely like a lie. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking. I know I overthink a lot on this show, guys. I know I spend way too much gray matter on trying to decipher this show, when I could just sort of sit back and let it happen to me and react to it instead of trying to anticipate. But I'm guessing if you're watching, and if you've watched for a while, that you're okay with that. So let's not change things up this close to the end. I'm going to continue to try and decipher and anticipate what comes next, and enjoy the ride. I'm loving the ride. I hope you guys are too. Until the next time, everybody. Oh, and before I sign off, I'm sure there were comments I'm sure there were comments to my last reaction. Yes, I got a haircut. It's summertime. We had to take a little weight off. It feels really good. Thank you for noticing. Until next time, everybody. Take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.